Even before the elections, persons living with disabilities have not been having life that easy. Ejiro Okotie lost her sight when she was 11 years old. She's an entrepreneur and staff of an NGO in Lagos. She says life is easier thanks to technology, but it could be better.
I would say challenging, yes, because the Nigerian environment is quite disempowering. It's quite tough to survive as a blind person. Speaking personally from my own point of view, because let's take for example, educationally, I've had to my secondary school days, because I was in GSS2 when I lost my sight, so I had to go back to Bacheli School for the Blind, where I did rehabilitation for 6 months, and then I learned how to read Braille and how to type, and I went back to secondary school. So I've had to struggle through school, so to speak, because you don't have materials or equipment that are in accessible formats for you to read. So I would usually get family members to dictate my textbooks, record them in cassettes for me. That's back then, from in secondary school and my university days. My first degree, I did my first degree in the University of Lagos, University of Benin. I studied international studies and diplomacy. So I had to record certain aspects of my textbooks, and then I braille my notes as much as I could. So that, I feel, made learning a bit difficult, because I was putting in twice as much the work that my peers were putting in. So I would say assistive technologies have been one of the greatest gifts that, would I say, life or innovations has done for us as persons with disabilities, and particularly for me as a blind person. Because with technology, with what we call a job access with speech software, which is a screen reader, and you have other screen readers as well. Once that is installed on a computer, a regular computer, I'm able to utilize it because it reads everything back to me. It's a speech software, so with key commands and keystrokes and all that, I can navigate. I can use PowerPoint applications, I can use Excel spreadsheets, I can use my Microsoft Office, I can surf the internet, I can do pretty much everything that a regular non-disabled person or a non-sighted person would do on their computer. And on my phone as well. On phones you have accessibility features, on Android phones you have talkbacks, on iOS devices you have voiceover. And with that as well, I can do pretty much everything. I more or less work a lot on my phone. I can access my emails on my phone, I can respond to chats, I can do Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and all of those social media platforms and all. And that's what technology has done. So in functioning in society as a blind person, technology has helped to a very large extent to bridge the gap. However, that technology is not cheap. So that's where the challenge is for people with disabilities, or for blind and partially sighted persons who are not so financially comfortable, if that's the right word to use, because all of these technologies are quite expensive. A JAWS software goes for 200, at least 200,000, and you see that you buy the computer for 80,000, so it's almost 3 times or more the price of a computer just for you to be able to use that computer. And of course, iPhones are not cheap either. Android phones are not so cheap. You may get some affordable ones. So what happens to that person, that blind person that's in a village, in one rural village somewhere, that does not have access to that kind of resources? How does he or she access education? How does he or she function in society?
The category of PWDs whom Ejire refers to are in larger number, as they reside in the rural parts and are spread all over the country. Their challenges are in a wide range.
It used to be when I'm coming from our hostel to my class every morning, and then going back using my walker. But since I was given this wheelchair, it's somehow less stressful, because I normally use this, and I don't have to go through all the stress using the other one. I do alternate it and then I use the other one, I use this one. But when I was using that one, it was somehow challenging. It is be very good now if government can do something to make it more easier, like our entrance. Like when I'm in the hostel now, maybe I want to climb now. I always need somebody. I always need assistance before I can climb. Or our bedroom in the hostel, the wall is very high for me to climb. I need assistance. So if government can put things in order that will make it easier for us, then I think it will be better.
The problem we are facing is from government on all the society. So we are appealing to all the society to please come to the aid of people with disability in Nigeria.
The problem we are facing is too much like job employment and empowerment because people try to go school. Some of them learn how to do some works, some hand works, but for the problem we have in the country now, there's no job for them. And then most of them want to go to the school. We need like a scholarship for them. This is all the challenges, some challenges we are facing now.